Hey everybody, it's Anna. Welcome to the Tuesday card in this week's tarot story. Today we have a major arcana card, so it's a life lesson. We have the Magician reversed. So the Magician is the number 1 card in the major arcana, and as I've said before in other videos, the number 1 is connected to the seed, so it's the beginning card. This Magician stands here with one hand pointed to heaven, the other to earth. He is evoking magic from the spiritual realm and using his body to drive it home, to bring it into the physical realm. So he is evoking magic, and he's doing it purposefully and intentionally. So the idea of the Magician is that he knows what he's doing. He has a particular will, a particular purpose, and he is using energy of heaven to bring that purpose to earth. Something important to remember about the Magician is it is the seed card. So unlike what we see depicted as magical in media, like the Magician will create a spell and immediately the reality is evoked, this is part of the spiritual journey, and the spiritual journey is about things becoming manifest on the physical plane. So even though it's still a miracle because you are bringing something new and innovative, possibly something that's never been on the physical plane before, it is not instantaneous. That's not really how the physical plane works. So it is the seed. It's the beginning of the journey. And the question is not whether you can evoke magic, but then whether you're able to walk through all the threshold points and meet the challenges and keep your momentum up. Like the whether this comes to fruition or not isn't dependent on the magic of the Magician, but rather on the rest of the steps of the major arcana. This is part of the spiritual journey, and I think sometimes we get the wrong idea about like the law of attraction because of these sort of non-spiritual path-based teachings or examples. So we think we're going to get something right away. Instead, it's about growing in our ability to manifest what we're doing. So that being said, we had this one come to us reversed. In this case, I think the reversal suggests to me that we have already evoked magic. There is already a seed that we have planted within our lives. So it's not time for us to ask the question, what do we want? We've already figured out what we want, and we've already begun the process of growing this new thing in our lives. So I think it's helpful for us to know where we are in the path, because if you think, like I said before, that magic happens instantaneously, then you might think you haven't properly summoned energy yet. And you might stay in that position of kind of trying to be the lightning rod. You're drawing it in, you're drawing it in, you're drawing in. When in reality, you've already begun the journey. Now it's not time to evoke new stuff. It's time to pay attention to what you've already evoked. Start developing the momentum, meeting the challenges of growing the path that you've already started. So yesterday we had the Knight of Wands, and I talked about how the Knight of Wands is about following your passion, following your confidence, and taking action steps in the world, and how that is usually a call out of the mind. We're not in the planning stages anymore. We are now living it out. So what occurs to me is the Magician reversed. If we think we haven't done the Magician work, then we're going to stay in this position of trying to evoke magic instead of honoring the fact you've already done it. Now we're actually living it out. It is sometimes easier to live in the theory of something than in the reality of making it happen. It is in the reality of walking through our lives where we hit anchor points, we hit barriers, and we have to do the clearing or the healing work to remove those barriers. And so that's why law of attraction doesn't work if you're just evoking the Magician and you just keep evoking and keep evoking. You have to go ahead and live a life that makes room for that life or that dream to become reality. So consider today what you've already evoked. Give yourself credit for having done that, and then ask yourself, what's the next step? Where are you maybe hesitant in taking the next steps, and what's in your way? Because you've already been the lightning rod. Now it's time to do the rest of the steps of the spiritual journey. See you tomorrow for our next card. Bye.